They'll never know this love and how it feels. I never thought love at first sight could feel so real. They'll never know this love and how it feels. I never thought love at first sight could feel so real. How it real, how it real, feel so real. How it real, how it real. How it real, and that feels so real. How it real, how it real, how it real, feels so real. How it real, how it real, how it.
Welcome in, everybody, to week 6 here with the Hrt to Heart Motorsports Series at Charlotte Motor Speedway. This is your host, Bobby Boy, with your co-host, J-Dog. What's going on, J-Dog?
How's everybody this afternoon? Happy Father's Day to everybody out there.
Most definitely happy Father's Day to all of the fathers out there from all of us here at Hrt to Heart. Let's take a minute and say thank you to all of our sponsors, CNL Carpets, everybody, Buchanan Resort, Allen Tillery, Buick GMC, everybody, and Bass Tire. Much love to all of the sponsors of Hrt to Heart Motorsports. We would not be a league without you guys. So thank you so much for being here and for all of your support. Thank you to all of the fans out there watching today. Please enjoy the show, everybody. Let's have a fun race. I believe it's definitely going to be a good one here tonight. Lots of battles to be had here. A lot going on here, you know.
I do agree. There's going to be a lot going on here at Charlotte, North Carolina. I mean, it's a 1.5 mile track. Charlotte's going to be a really interesting race here. Even though there's also the museum is not pretty far from the track itself.
Speaking of the museum, let's not forget our points leader. He's not here this week. Our points leader, Bobby Joe Lane in the O2, he's not going to be here this week. He is currently going to be out of this race, and that's where he is. He's actually in Charlotte, North Carolina, and he's actually visiting the Hall of Fame. So he's going to see this in real life while these guys are here doing this. So that's awesome. Hope he has a great time and can't wait to see him back on the track. But that's putting a lot of points on the table tonight. That should be able to get Scott Cazenave, Alan Marr, Javier Zapta, and Michael Loxton, and Peyton Barfield, and Benny Jones. All these guys are up here close in that battle, you know. There's a lot of points on the table here and a lot that could happen.
Like you said, there's a lot actually riding on this race tonight. And especially with the number 24 of Javier, he's actually been pretty good this season, and he had been a couple wins already this season. So we'll have to see what's going on here at Charlotte. We'll see how he does.
Yes, you definitely need to give a look out for him, and you also need to give Peyton a look too. You know, Peyton's been very fast and consistent. These guys, since they have joined Hrt to Heart, have been very consistent drivers and put out a lot of speed and showed their true racing colors. You know, but they're really clean racing, and you know, you can't go wrong with that. Welcome into the chat there, David. I see. Yes, sir. Well, right now they're just finishing up qualifying here. We got about 2 more minutes, everybody. So here, we'll be back in just a minute.
Hi, I'm Aaron Lane from Bass Tire.
Hi, I'm Steve Bass. We're here at the legendary Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Good tires and brakes are important on this race car, and so are the tires and brakes on your vehicle.
For the very best in tires, brakes, and auto service, come make a pit stop at Bass Tire.
Serving Nashville for over 35 years.
On Nolensville Road, next to the zoo.
And we are back, everybody, to give you a little bit of the track details. It's 65 temperature. We're going to look right around that 50 lap range for fuel tonight. You know, tire wear is definitely going to come into play here. There's definitely going to be a lot of challenging trying to keep this car straight coming out of turn 4. Turn 4 can be the trickiest on this track when you get ready to come into that tri-oval. So it definitely can make a challenging race, right?
Yeah. This is going to be an excellent race. We just got to get ready for the drivers to get ready to go on the track here. It's going to be a beautiful night here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Now, as the drivers get ready to grid.
All right, everybody, and here's going to be your starting lineup with Scott Cazenave going to take that P1 spot against Peyton Barfield in P2. Austin Cornpost going to take up P3 with Alan Moore on the outside lane in P4. That's going to leave Andrew Longmire in that P5 spot in that number 31 against Dan Colson in the number 12 in P6. Bud Light Mike is going to take that P7 spot against Benny Jones in P8. That's going to be Billy Milner, y'all, in the 55 with Rusty Robinson on that outside in P10, number 5. Steve Harrison's going to take that P11 spot with William Martin in P12. Javier Zaptoya, everybody's going to be in that P13 with Kelly Akron in that P14 spot. And that's going to leave us with Ryan Perrone in P15 with Zach Samlin in P16. Greg Langford in that CNL Carpets car in P17, taking the end of the line.
Now we're out round off your field, and let's see the drivers get ready to warm up for this race. This is going to be a really interesting race tonight. Pace car is off. Boogity boogity boys, let's go racing at Charlotte.
Alan Moore fell back there a little bit there on that start. That's going to be able to give Austin that great start on that third place spot against Scott Cazenave and Peyton Barfield here. Peyton now getting a great run on that outside lane.
Looking pretty good through the tri-oval. Austin starting to make his move right there on the side of Scott Cazenave in the 1. Austin trying to make his move now on Peyton coming in turn 3 and 4. Side by side now, coming back straight away. Peyton on the inside now, trying to make that move.
Andrew Longmire now back here looking to make his way around Dan Collison with Billy Milner and Bud Light Mike back here as well.
Good battle so far, beginning of this race. It's 55 now, and Star trying to come right beside Bud Light Mike. Well, somebody just scraped off the wall right in front of Dan Coulson there. $47 and a 55 side by side now, going into 3.
A lot of moves being made right now early on in this race.
And it's just down the beginning of it. $55 now getting past Bud Light Mike in a 47.
Andrew now looking to make his way up here to next to Austin and away I am.
Side by side now going into 4. Andrew on the inside of Austin right now, coming in the 4, going on the front straightaway.
Looking to get in that top 3 position. Scott Cazenave and Peyton Barfield now starting to get a little bit of gap against the rest of these drivers.
That drought is, man, is a big factor here in this here at Charlotte. Right now, there's a gap between Peyton and Andrew, and there's a 1.3 gap. Three wide coming in the back straightaway. Oh, got a caution.
There's a crash here. That's going to be the first caution of the night, everybody. Let's see if we could go back and take a look at this.
That was nasty.
Ouch. That was painful to see, wasn't it? Looks like we're going to have a few cars going into the pits right now. Maybe going ahead and trying to get some early on fuel, maybe to do a little bit longer fuel strategy here. Definitely could play a big factor here, you know. So we'll see what they do, everybody. That right now is going to leave Peyton Barfield as your race leader, everybody, with Andrew Lohmeyer taking up that second place spot, with Bud Light Mate taking third, and Scott Casnave's going to be in P4 with Rusty Robson in that P5 spot.
I'm just so glad they upgraded the caution car and looks so much better. Talk about pit strategy. That's going to be really helpful here in Charlotte. If you have a good strategy, use it as your advantage as much as you can.
I believe Andrew could get a good start here. You know, that outside line has looked very fast here early on. So, you know, it can definitely play a factor here. Which line do you start?
That is a really good question. Pace car's lights off. We'll see here in a few minutes.
And pace car's in as we're going to 86 to go.
Green flag. A good start right there from Peyton in the 44. Good side by side between Alan Marr and Greg Langford right there.
Greg Langford looking pretty smooth out there on that outside lane.
Greg Langford just lost 2 spots right there off of between Alan Marr and Javier in the 24.
You know, it's still early on in the race. Drivers are going to be conserving. They're going to be trying their best to figure out that fuel strategy and how much tires they can actually wear. It's going to play factor here tonight.
That's true. That's really true at this track. We just have to see how it's going to play out. Just getting parts of the race. We'll see.
Scott Cazenave closing the gap here, looking to make his way back towards the front of this field. Currently running in that P6 spot, now gaining that P5 against Bud Light Mike. He is looking to get them points.
He's trying to make those points up that Bobby Joe's going to lose until he gets back this next weekend. Scott Castaneda now making his move to the inside of Steve Harris on the back straightaway. Get ready to come into turn 3.
Alamar and Javier linking up together here, looking to make some moves as well.
Javier now side by side with Alan Marr coming in turn 1 and 2. And now on back straightaway. Scott now is starting making his move right behind Rusty Robinson on the front straightaway, now going into 1.
Scott now looking at the inside again. Scott currently making some of the biggest moves of this race right now.
Great race so far, but Alan Mars, Rusty Robinson is now trying to make his move between Alan Marr going into 4. Coming out on trail, now going into turn 1 now.
A lot of battles going on here. Scott Cazenave now looking to take that second place spot against Andrew.
I just saw Austin. He started making his move up on Javier now, coming on the back on turn 2 now. Turn 4 now, going in front straightaway. Let's see what happens. Scott now side by side on the inside of Andrew. Scott now in the P2 position now and getting ready to come up right behind Peyton. Scott now making his move.
Best thing these guys can do is not continue to battle this whole time. Line up, get caught up to that leader, because if you keep battling it out, that leader's going to get away from you.
And that is true. He's got let's see, about a 0.62 second gap between first and second right now. Scott now is starting to catch up to Peyton. Alan Marr now start making his move on Andrew. Coming to front triangle now with Andrew right beside Alan Marr going into 1.
Andrew on a little bit older tires because he didn't pit that first round, and everybody else has a little bit fresher tires. Well, a few of these drivers. I'm not going to say everyone else.
He's probably waiting for the pit window to actually come up on. We're coming up on lap 28 right now, so he's probably waiting for that pit window to come up. Over here on the inside, and Andrew now coming on the front straightaway.
Scott Cazenave now looking to become your race leader right now. He is on the tail end of Peyton.
Scott coming to the inside now Peyton start making his move on her back straightaway.
With these two side by side, that's going to be able to get Alan Marr up there to them.
3 or 4 now, and get ready to come in the front trail. Alan Marr now starting to catch up between Scott and Peyton right now, so fighting for the pole position. Side by side and 2 now coming in back straightaway.
This is something you definitely want to see, being that 3rd place, 4th place, 5th place car, is these leaders up here battling it out, because that gives you that chance to catch back up to the front of this field and put on some real close racing.
And that's what we should see here. Peyton now got a little bit of the car length on Scott. Scott falling back, and Alan Marr is coming out in turn 1. Scott now on the inside, now gone. Peyton coming in back straightaway. Scott now trying to make his move again on Peyton. Going in turn 4. Front straightaway now. Let's see what happens.
Peyton getting some really good speed up there. He's definitely getting a good run off of those corners.
Scott now getting ready to turn side by side and against Peyton.
We take a ride along with Alan Marr here, back in that 3rd place spot, right behind these leaders.
You get a first person view out of this. Let's see what happens between this battle right now. Payne's got a little bit of second on Scott right now, going into turns 3 and 4. Javier making his move, man. Now he's side by side with Allen. I just seen him come out of the middle of my screen, out of the middle of nowhere.
Now have your top 5 all up here together.
Now it's getting more exciting. Now we're in the back straightaway. Scott now has got the lead. Javier Peyton's down now and starting to fall back a little bit and trying to conserve his tires to make sure he can make it to that pace window. Alan Marr now on the inside, and Peyton now getting ready to try to catch up to Scott. Austin now making it, pushing Alan Marr up there and trying to catch up to Scott.
Austin and Alan Marr now looking to make their move back up towards the front here. They are putting it down.
They're starting to catch up to some of this lap traffic right now, so let's see what happens here. Single file in your first top 5. Going back straight away now. Front straightaway now. Austin's now right behind Alan Marr, trying to make his move in the second position. Austin trying to look on the inside, and Alan Marr now trying to get in that second place spot.
Take a look back here at this second pack back here. They're still not too far behind. We got Rusty Robinson here in the 5, leading that pack with Andrew in the 31 and Bud Light Mike back here together.
been a pretty good run now for these boys. So let's see what goes on right here around turn 1 and 2. Austin now trying to make this move on Alan Marr, going the back straightaway. Coming in trial now, and Alan Marsh trying to catch up to Scott. One, two, three, single file. Going back straight away. Alan Marr on the outside now, trying to make his move on Scott. Austin now trying to make his move on Alan Marr on the inside. On the front straightaway now, he made his move. Now he's in second place. Now he's right behind Scott.
Javier as well, looking to make some moves.
Javier knocking on the back door of Austin. Austin, I think Javier just scraped the wall a little bit.
Got Rusty Robinson back here as well, looking to make his way around Peyton here now for that 5th place spot.
Peyton now looks like he's actually trying to conserve and trying to make it to that pit window. Pit window will start to come up here pretty soon for these drivers. So we'll see if they make some green flag pit stops. Javier now on the inside of Alan Marr now. Coming up on turn 3. We'll see what happens between them two. It's getting real close to that pit window now. They're starting to back off of each other. Looks like now as Scott Castaneda started making his rounds around the lap traffic on the front straightaway, now going into 1. If I'm correctly, I'm actually start seeing some of these drivers to probably start making some of these green flag pit stops.
As we get ready for that, everybody, we're going to step away for a minute and thank our sponsors.
Hi, I'm Aaron Lane from Bass Tire.
Hi, I'm Steve Bass. We're here at the legendary Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Good tires and brakes are important on this race car, and so are the tires and brakes on your vehicle.
For the very best in tires, brakes, and auto service, come make a pit stop at Bass Tire.
Serving Nashville for over 35 years.
On Nolensville Road, next to the zoo.
we are back with Heart to Heart Motorsports here at Charlotte for 100 laps, everybody. Tonight, this is week 6, everybody, out of week 14. Now, please don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future races with Heart to Heart Motorsports races every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. J-Dog, this has been a wonderful race so far.
It has been. I know probably what's going through Scott's mind at this point, saying, Bobby Joe, eat your heart out. We'll see you next weekend.
You know, these guys lined up right here, you know, this is going to hurt Rusty Robinson. But, I mean, Rusty Robinson is keeping a close gap here, you know. But with them guys lined up, they could definitely pull away from him. So he's going to hope that, you know, they can get a little side-by-side and get him where he needs to be.
I just saw the 44 and 31 now. It's starting to make the green flag pit stops.
Sir, that fuel window is now open. This is the time when you're going to start seeing cars come in, unless they pitted earlier on in that caution and was able to get a little bit of fuel to last a little longer in this race, which can definitely benefit them, but it could also hurt them.
I just saw Bud Light Vine come out of the pits. His pit crew just got done with his car with 14.9 seconds out of the pits.
Peyton Barfield as well coming out of the pits.
So you get his green flag pit stop there. Austin, or Scott Cassidy now coming in turn 1, and Austin right behind him going into turn 2, coming in back straight away. I just heard Harrison just coming over the radio saying he's going to pit now, so there's some more going in for a green flag pit stop. So let's see what these leaders are going to have to start thinking about in their green flag pit stops. Austin trying to go on the outside of Scott Cassidy right now. Oh, I saw Alan Marr just hit the turn 2 wall there. Good there, Blip Bill from the Blip. Goodyear Blip. Austin now is trying to make his move now on Scott. Coming down the back straightaway. Now Ron Carr in view with Austin.
Javier also not behind, that far behind Alan Marr in that 4th place spot.
Leaders have continued to go back around the track as the green flag pit stops continue. One, two, three, still being consistent going into 1. Going into 2 now, going back straight away. Let's see what happens between them.
It doesn't get any better than this. Door to door, bumper to bumper. These guys are doing it. They are putting it down up here.
They're really putting on a show for these people tonight. Scott Cassidy now on the front straightaway. Going into one now. Some of that lap traffic between Austin and Scott Cassidy now on the back straightaway.
Eric Langford, knowing these guys haven't pitted, he's going to look to try to get one of his laps back here, so that way he has a chance to be that lucky dog later in the race if a caution is to occur.
Yeah, that is true. If the caution comes out, and the next lucky dog will be Rusty Robinson in number 5. So we'll just have to see what happens between the drivers out here on this track. So Scott Cassidy now still got Austin on the back bumper right now, still knocking on his back door.
It's going to leave Scott Cazenave as your race leader, everybody, with Austin Cornpost going to take that P2. Alan Marr is going to be in P3. Javier Zapta is going to be in that 4th place spot with William Martin in that top 5.
Now just William Martin coming on with radio saying he's pinning this time by. Well, here comes the leaders. There's some of the leaders. Javier decided to stay out, so let's see what happens on his strategy out here in this race. Alan Marr right now is in the lead.
Alan Marr and Javier both looking to gain a point for this race, which is what they need, being so high up in the points. You got Alan Marr now in 3rd place in points, and Javier is in 4th in points. So these guys are right here on the top of this leaderboard battling this out. Them leading a lap definitely can make a big difference here. Javier now going to go into the pits as well. That's going to be Alan Marr in the pits as well. So this is going to change this field up here, everybody. This should rotate around to Rusty Robinson getting the race lead.
I like mine looking pretty good out here on 47. I just heard Billy just saying, just coming on over the radio saying he's going to the pits. Benny Jones in the 20.
Currently running in that 7th place spot.
As now some of your drivers now coming out of the pits and try to get back into this race.
Rusty Robinson, everybody, now going to be your race leader as of right now, with Peyton Barfield currently with a 4-second gap and closing against Rusty.
Alan Martin in the 9. Right behind Austin now, going in the back straightaway. Alan Martin just bounced off the wall for turn 2. Benny Jones now trying to catch up between Alan Marr and Austin now. Back straightaway now, Alan Marr now is in the inside and Austin going in turn 3. Ooh, Austin just bounced off in turn 1 right there. Coming in turn 2 now, we're going back straightaway. We'll see what happens between these drivers. Rusty Robson in the 5. Buchanan Resort. And Benny Jones in the 20. Not too far right behind there, Austin. There's your 1, 2, 3 right there in front, back straightaway now. Going in turn 3. Scott Cassidy now in the 3. Bobby boy, it's been a really good, exciting race so far. What do you think about this?
I believe it's been a lot of fun. It's been good to see these drivers come out tonight, you know, being Father's Day. So happy Father's Day to all of you drivers out there and all of the dads out there across the world. Much love to all of you from all of us here at Hrt to Heart. It's definitely been a challenging race, and I believe a little closer towards the end here as we get to these final laps, you're going to start seeing these drivers close that gap a little bit more.
Good battle going on between Benny Jones and Javier now. And out of 2 now, going back straightaway. Let's see what happens. There is a 2-second gap between Scott Casanave and Peyton.
Rusty Robinson still holding a very nice gap here with just 26 to go. But the question is he pushing it too early?
Just maybe a little bit. 55 now is side by side with Rusty Robinson going in the front straightaway. I know some of this lap traffic, I know it does play a factor in here.
The only problem with Rusty being side by side with Billy back here is, you know, that's going to allow Peyton and Scott to be able to catch up to him and be able to close that gap. So he's going to have to try to stay behind him or get around him quickly, you know, to make this work.
We do have a caution. Kelly Acra would be actually your first lucky dog. Rusty Robinson still looks pretty consistent now on the front straightaway.
Scott Casanave now looking to make them moves for that P2 position against Peyton. Now on the inside, now going to make his way around here, and he's going to look to try to catch up to Rusty here as Rusty's up here fighting with lap track.
Scott Castanet now making his move on Peyton on the front straightaway.
And let's not count these two out. We have Alan Moore back here with Austin Cornpost, everybody, currently running in that 4th and 5th place spot. They have been very consistent early on in this race, and they were working together really good early on, pushing each other up there. So if they can tag team and work together again here, they are liable to catch back up here to the front of this pack and give it some good running here.
See if they work single file now, like they are doing right now in the back straightaway. They should be able to catch up with Peyton.
Starting to pull away a little bit from Javier, but Javier is going to keep that gap under 2 seconds.
There's only a second gap between Peyton and Scott Castanet right now. Alomar now just now catching up with Peyton. Coming to the front trial now. Let's see what happens.
So we're now getting under that 20 to go mark. We are going to start to see these drivers really put more pressure down on this throttle pedal here and, hope that they don't just burn it up.
Alomar now side by side with Peyton now going into turn 3. Alomar now taking the 4th place spot from Peyton. Front straightaway now. Let's see what happens. Austin now on the inside of Peyton now going in turn 2, going to back straightaway. Oh, whoa, man, we almost had a caution right there when Peyton cut down a little bit on Austin.
Both cars are going to keep going, so that's not going to throw a caution there. Everybody's going to continue to keep going, but that's definitely going to push Peyton back into that 6th place spot. We definitely saw that out of the corner of our eyes there a little bit, but it happens. Rubbin's racing, rubbing. Let's go.
Ruffin is racing. As Peyton now hopefully be able to get that car back on the way it should be, to wait where he can catch up to the leaders.
Dusty Robinson, your race leader, still putting down a good race here. Everybody getting around this lap traffic as Scott Castanet is closing the gap. Scott Castanet right behind Brian Perrone here as Rusty Robinson is now starting to look to make his way around Zach Sandlin.
Rusty Robinson now trying to make his move around Greg as Scott Castanet now just coming up around Ryan Perrone just now trying to catch up to Rusty Robinson around turn 1. Right in the middle of 2 now, going in the back straightaway, starting to catch up to Rusty Robinson with the loud traffic.
Alan Marr now starting to close that gap as well. Austin right there behind.
There's only a second gap between Alan Marr and Austin. Alomar now trying to put some of that lap traffic between him and Austin. Now going to back straightaway. Hopefully they'll work out in Alomar's favor to trying to catch up to the leaders. Austin now right behind Alan Lamar going in the front straightaway.
Scott Kasnave, now your race leader, everybody. He has done it. He's pulled it off.
I just saw Alan Lamar just scrape the ball for turn 2. Scott Casanave now back in the lead. Coming to the front straightaway, he's right behind Steve Harrison. He better be watching his back door. Going into 1. Hopefully it makes it easy pass around Steve here without causing any little issue there.
Steve Harrison is the last car on the lead lap. Scott Cazenave now is going to make his way around there, everybody.
That right there would put Harrison in the lucky dog spot if we do have a caution.
Alan Marr and Austin now looking to make their way up this field, back up to Scott, everybody, with just 10 laps to go. Allen's in that second place spot with Austin taking up that third place spot with Rusty going to fall in behind.
Austin now and Alan Marr now going in turn 1. Austin now trying to make his move. Austin now on the inside of Alan Lamar going in the back straightaway.
Right now, with just short laps to go, the best thing Austin can do right now is push that 9 car up there. Get in behind that 1. Y'all follow that 1. Get in there. And when you get a good enough run to pass that car cleanly and fast, do it. And then get up behind that 03 and give it what you got.
And these guys have been putting it down since the beginning of this race. Alan Marr now, they're starting to catch up to Scott.
This lap traffic has not helped the leader tonight. It has not helped the leader at all.
Austin now is starting to be side by side and Alan Marr on the front straightaway. Going into 1 now, they're starting to try to catch up to Scott. Good look from the back straightaway there as Alan Marr starting to catch up inch by inch to Scott Cassidy's back door. Six laps left. One, two, three, right there they are, going into turn 3 now.
Phenomenal run by these 2 drivers back here in that second place and third place spot.
5 to go this time by.
The teammates are working together and they are making it happen.
They're starting to make his move now on Scott, going into 1 and 2. Going back straightaway to turn 3 wide, 3 wide. 3 wide, back straightaway. Back to single file now on turn 3 and 4. Man, it did get a little bit exciting right there.
It looks like they did lose a little bit of momentum there, but they should be able to gain it back. We still have a few laps here, so they should be able to get that run back.
4 to go. Scott Castanay still holding a consistent lead, still right behind. Alan Marr now starting to catch up a little bit to Scott. Starting to put that pressure on now. Austin now starting to make his move on Allen. Front straightaway, they touch. Look like they hold it together right behind Scott. Side by side now. Alan Marr is falling right behind Austin. Now going in turn 2, now going back straightaway.
Just 3 laps to go. Can they make it happen? But they're going to have to push. They're going to have to push it hard, and they're going to have to stay in line right till that finish line, I believe.
They'll definitely have to. Scott still holding against Austin now. Austin's starting inch by inch to start catching up to Scott with 2 laps left to go. 1, 2, 3, where they come right now on the back straightaway. Just saw Austin now just bounce off the wall for turn 4 now. Scott still holding the final lap. Alan Marr now side by side Austin now going into turn 2, coming back straightaway.
As we're on the final lap here at Charlotte for 100 laps with week 6 of the Hrt2Heart Motorsport Series, y'all. Please don't forget to check out our races every Sunday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please don't forget to subscribe and make sure you check it out. That's going to be Scott Cazenave, everybody, is your race winner tonight.
Scott Cazenave coming in pole position there. And Alan Marr in second, and Austin Cornpost in third. Javier in fourth, and Rusty Robinson in fifth. Now round off your top 5. Congratulations on the win there, Scott.
This is going to be your race results, everybody.
Burn it down, Sky. You deserve it. Alan Tilleriano as your sponsor for Hrt2Heart, and Scott Cazenave now as your race leader. Burn it down, Scott. I hope he's screaming behind that computer right about now in that car. Just don't blow that motor, Scott. Still gotta have a motor left at least.
Man, will you see that perfect donut? That was a perfect donut. You see that?
Good race between all of these gentlemen here. Great race through all these gentlemen. Now here in a few minutes we'll have first top 3 to come up here in the booth, and we'll have a good interview with these guys.
Awesome run by all these drivers. All right, let's see if we could get a few of these guys in here and talk to them. Scott, the man with the plan. That's going to put you in the points lead with the ARCA series. You had pulled it off again this week. Awesome race, brother. I really thought Austin and Alan Marr was going to get a run there. They were definitely looking strong and making some good moves throughout the field. So
I feel like a winner.
all the stops tonight, you looked very smooth. You looked amazing, brother. Was it tough?
Yeah, a little bit. I had a good feeling car. That first caution, lap 10, 11, 12, somewhere in there. I was going to stay out, and I decided to come in and get tires, and I think that's paid off. I had better tires. I come right up through there, took the lead again, and then I run that out to I had about 3 laps of fuel left. I decided to come in. My tires were 62% when I came out, so I run them pretty hard, but I knew I'd had a little bit better tires there at the end, and most of them up there. Austin and Alan Marr pitted with me. I knew they were on the same cycle and they were catching me, but I guess they started battling, and there at the end when he caught me, I kind of started taking it low again. I was kind of saving my stuff a little bit. I started taking it low again and got the win, man. It was a good race.
Yes, sir. It definitely was. It was a wonderful race by all of you guys. There was a lot of racing going on tonight. How you feeling going into next week?
I feel pretty good. I'm ready for my teammate to come back home.
Yes,
Kind
sir.
of kind of missed him tonight and here and practicing and stuff. But yeah, I'm ready. I feel good about it.
All right. Well, you got any shout outs?
I want to give a shout out to Abraham, Allen Tillery Chevrolet, CNL Carpets, Buchanan Resort, all the guys in the league. We appreciate y'all all being here and racing with us. Our sponsors, we got some great sponsors. You and J Dog for broadcasting it. Couldn't ask for a better league, man. Much love and happy Father's Day out there to everybody. I hope y'all had a great day.
Awesome. Well, we hope to catch you again in the booth, which I'm sure we will, because you're on that fast track right now. So you are now the points leader here in the ARCA series. Awesome job, brother.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank y'all.
Alan Marr, you got a copy?
Loud and clear, brother.
Yes, sir. Well, I tell you what, you and Austin put on a good race. Y'all stuck together pretty much throughout the race. You know that's what teammates are supposed to do. But y'all stayed pushing each other and was able to get caught up to Scott there at the end there. I mean, I believe y'all kind of battled it out a little too early. That kind of hurt you a little bit, but you were still able to pull off a P2 and get that podium position. How you feeling after this race?
I felt good. Yeah, that was the plan. We were sticking together, knew we could run down the leaders, so saved some tire, waited till the end, but once we got to Scott, it kind of slowed up a little bit. Austin got underneath me. With a track like this, momentum matters, so it takes 2 or 3 laps to set up a pass, but overall happy with second place.
Most definitely. So you're looking forward to next week. Next week's going to be a fun track as well. I believe we're going to Iowa next week.
Oh yeah, that'll be a fun one. We're going to have to get J Dog out of the booth and in this series a little bit.
I don't know. I like my partner here. He does a pretty good job, I got to say. I got to give him credit for that. Right, J Dog? You like it in the booth, right?
Yeah, I love it up here. Actually, do
Correct.
pretty well.
All right. Well, you got any shout outs?
Yeah, shout out to y'all for putting this on. Heart to Heart. BJ, I know you do a lot of work in the week hosting all this stuff, so appreciate that. And just appreciate all the members and everybody in it.
All right. Well, we hope to catch you in the podium again, and happy Father's Day to you, and hope you have a great night.
Sir, we'll see you.
That's going to put Austin Cornpost, everybody, as your top 3 finisher, everybody. Austin, you and Alan, I was just talking to Alan about it. Y'all had a great run. Y'all stuck together throughout the race as teammates should, pushing each other. But I believe y'all just put a little battle on a little too early, once y'all got caught up to Scott, and that kind of hurt you because, it means everything to gain that run here at Charlotte, and you can lose that run very fast. But you were still able to pull off that top 3 finish. How you feeling?
Pretty good. Yeah, we try to use the draft to our advantage just to catch Scott and Rusty and all them. And, towards the end there, he was getting pretty tight up on a high line. I didn't want to lose momentum, so I just went low. That's when we kicked it 3 wide, which killed us. And I just pushed it pretty hard there at the end, smacked the wall, had some wheel damage, and I just let him by me. Our race was done then. So, but no, it was a good race. Congrats to Scott. He did a hell of a job tonight.
Yes, sir. It was most definitely a fun race to watch. It was interesting for all the fans out there. When y'all took it 3 wide there, I was like, oh man, look, something crazy is about to happen here. I wasn't sure what was going to go on, but it was a good race. It was overall
I was trying to do like a repeat of Texas.
Can't blame you there. That was a phenomenal race as well. So how you feeling going into Iowa next week?
I haven't raced much at Iowa, so I don't know really what to expect. I'll just practice all week and give it my best like I do every week.
Most definitely. That's all you can do. Get that car dialed in to the best the way you can drive it and give it what you got.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. Do you got any shout outs?
Yeah, you and J Dog for broadcast night, doing a great job in the booth. Bass Tire, Alan Tillery, CNL Carpets, Greg Langford, and happy Father's Day out there to all the dads, all the bonus dads. We appreciate you, and excited for next week, man.
Yes, sir. Well, we hope to catch you again in the booth, and we'll see you next week.
All right, thank you.
All right, everybody. That's going to round up our top 3 tonight here at Charlotte for 100 laps, everybody, with Hrt2Heart Motorsports for week 6. Everybody, J-Dog, that was a phenomenal race.
I think it was too. It was actually a pretty good race for all these gentlemen out here. And still, congratulations to everybody that's out here in this tonight here at Charlotte. And happy Father's Day to everybody out there. And we will see y'all next Sunday in Iowa.
All right. Good night, everybody, from all of us here at Hrt2Heart.